We're finally going to be getting some international cricket, and it's kind of the start of the new season, you could almost say, because we'll probably only have like a month without any cricket until we get the new summer starting. So this World Cup is obviously going to be running through the entirety of June. And this is the first step towards that. This is the first opportunity for us to start preparing for this World Cup, the T20 World Cup. And we are going to be playing a 3-match T20I series in the West Indies. And it does give us an opportunity to maybe also get some players into form, and also maybe perhaps also see some newer guys get an opportunity. There are multiple ways to approach this particular series, and I'm going to talk about it today and also get your comments as well in the live chat, see what you guys think and what you guys would like to see in the first match. And that's what our preview show is going to be about today. YouTube has changed their algorithms, so I'm going to need you guys to help me out. The like button needs to be smashed if you guys want to see these videos pop up in your recommended feeds regularly. Now, if you like the content over here and you want to see more of it, you're going to have to be very active on the page for that to take place. I don't know why they keep changing the algorithms and why they keep doing things differently. They're making it harder and harder for creators actually to get their videos seen, but it's okay. I trust that you guys will be involved, and the live chat will be active, and the comment section and the likes will be active. So go ahead and smash that like button straight away. But I also need you guys to subscribe if you're new as well, and click that notification bell for all future videos. You'll get notified whenever we go live and any other videos that we upload. We also have a Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly, and that is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. We are currently very busy with the next edition, which is going to give you guys an insight into what the World Cup is all about, what the squad is all about, how we got to the squad that we currently have, and everything surrounding that selection. We even got an exclusive with Enoch Nkwe in this particular edition. So he's going to give you some insights into the transformation policy and the future of transformation and how he sees it. So please go ahead and subscribe to this magazine. It's the only place you're going to get that exclusive interview. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's show. I'm looking forward to discussing all of this with you guys. Very good evening. Welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show, your preview show. I'm your host, Khalid. This is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with the T20I series in the West Indies. Now, we have been given the fixture list, and we know that the first game will be on the 23rd of May. So that is on Wednesday. And I've got the correct times for you guys as well. The last time we weren't 100% sure what times it would be, but I've got the times for you right here. We've got 3 games, of course, for you guys, and the first one is on Thursday, not on Wednesdays. On Thursday, the May the 23rd at 9 p.m. That's when the first T20I will take place. The second T20I will be on May 25 at 9 p.m. And then the final one will be on Sunday, May 26 at 9 p.m. as well. So those are your fixtures. That's the way these games are going to unfold. Now, the difficult part of a year will obviously be the selection and which players we are going to select for that first game. Now, there's different ways to obviously look at this and to consider this, because When you do look at the squad, there are quite a few new names in here, but recently there has been an update in the squad with the IPL players returning to the squad. So that changes things a hell of a lot when it comes to the selection, because I think people will maybe have a different view on how they want to approach this when it comes to this team. Now, the squad for the West Indies is as follows: Riza Hendricks, Quinton de Kock, Matthew Bretsky, Ryan Rickleton, and Rassie van der Dussen are your batters. Your all-rounders are Patrick Kruger, Vian Mulder, and Dele Pechelquayo. Your spinners are Bjorn Fortuin, Ngaba Peter, Tabarei Shamsi. And your seamers are Otniel Batman, Lungi Ngidi, Anik Nokia, and Gerald Kutsia. Before it was quite easy, I feel. When initially we had the squad without the IPL players, it was kind of easy then to pick your top six or your top five. Even predominantly, I would say probably your top four. But now with the inclusion of Quinton de Kock, Anik Nokia, and Gerald Kutsia, things are obviously going to shape and change around. The reason I say it will change around, particularly for someone like Quinton de Kock, I was hoping that on this series we were going to see someone like Ryan Rickleton get an opportunity to play all three games if Quinton de Kock wasn't available. But now with the form that Quinton de Kock is in, it's almost more likely that they're going to probably give him an opportunity, Quinton, with Riza at the top of the order. Now, that obviously might be completely different from a Rob perspective. He might want to go in a completely different direction with that and obviously give players that are in form a chance. But we haven't necessarily always seen that in the past where where the inexperienced guys get opportunities over the more experienced guys. You can have both though with this particular squad. I think that you can start Riza, you can start Quinton, as well as Rickerton as a top three. Quinton de Kock has been tried in the number three position for his IPL franchise as well as the SA20. So it's not an unfamiliar position for him. And it might be a good idea to take him out of the main fire line, put him in at three, and give him an opportunity to build his confidence leading into the World Cup so he can get some form. That is a possibility. Now, with Rassie van der Dussen being captain, it's almost certain that he'll probably get a start. So we're going to have to filter him into this particular team some way. And he's been in incredible form. And unfortunately, he's one of the unlucky ones to miss out on the World Cup squad. So you can have a top three of Riza, Rix, Quinton de Kock, Rassie van der Dussen, or have it Riza, Quinton de Kock, Rickelton, and Rassie van der Dussen. That could be your top four. And looking at this particular team and looking at this particular squad, that is the more probable top four, I would say. And there might not be an opportunity for Matthew Bretsky to get a chance, seeing that he is an opening batter, even though he has been tried as well in that number five position for his franchises when he gets an opportunity in T20 cricket. You've got a hell of a lot of all-rounders here, three, in fact, and you can throw Gerald Kutsia maybe perhaps in that mix as well. And that means that you can bat quite deep. So we are most likely going to see an opportunity to either Patrick Kruger, Vian Mulder, or Andile Pechelquayo in this particular games. It's almost certain that probably will happen. So I'd like to know what you guys think with regards to the 11. But for me, what I most likely would want to see is definitely Andrik Nokia getting a full series because he hasn't been in the best of form. And I think it's a chance for us to give him a chance to obviously get himself some form. Otniel Bartman, I feel, needs to start as well. I think he's deserved the opportunity to start for South Africa, and it'll give us enough competitive cricket to see whether he can be a guy to get a starting position in the World Cup 11. And I think it's also a great opportunity for Bjorn Fortuin to take a more seniority role in this team and get a chance to start in this particular side as well. But what we're going to do with that all-rounders is going to be the key factor. Now, I think we can go with Riza, Rix, Quinton as the top three, and Rassi van der Dussen at number four. Then maybe give someone like, I would say probably Vian Mulder a number five slot, and then Patrick Kruger a number six spot. And then at seven, you can throw in someone like Andile Pechelkwayo perhaps. But I think it's probably smarter with this particular squad to give all the batters an opportunity. It's a chance for Rob to see all his batters. So perhaps playing Bretsky at five and then having Mulder at six and then having Patrick Kruger at seven could be a very good, another good opportunity to see those other all rounders and give them a chance at the highest level. Then at eight, have Fortuin, and at nine, have Kutsia, 10, Anrik Nokia, and then 11, Shamsi. Another chance would also have to be, and to take into consideration, is giving everybody that's in the World Cup squad an opportunity. That's another angle we can go with as well. So giving in Ngidi, who's a traveling reserve opportunity, is also on the cards for this particular idea. But with all the all-rounders, we have an opportunity to maybe shift things around a bit. But not to the extent that we can throw a bowler in at number seven. So for the for the balance of the side, it's important for us to maybe play our all-rounders in six and seven. And I think that for the balance of the side, to make sure that your batting is quite deep and we don't actually lose the series, because you don't want to go with a loss in a series into a World Cup campaign. You want to try and win the series and get some great momentum going into the World Cup, because we're not playing any warm-up games. We're only playing an inter-squad game. So that does make it a little bit tricky and a bit difficult for us to find our form. So this series becomes even more crucial. There are a hell of a lot of top order guys, though, that we've selected in the squad. There aren't many like middle order guys that can do what the Heinrich Klaassen, Tristan Stubbs, and David Miller can do for you. So the priority over here is to get all the World Cup guys on the field, I think. That should be the first priority. And then there is the opportunity to slot some newer guys in, then give them a chance to do, then find a way to and how to do that in the right way. Now, Ryan, I feel needs to play. He's part of the squad and can be selected in the World Cups in the World Cup 11. So he should take priority over here over someone that or like Rassi van der Dussen. He should, but Rassi's captain, so that kind of protects him from not being selected in a way. So a lot of different scenarios, a lot of different conundrums that Rob Walter is going to have to deal with. And I think that this is obviously an opportunity for that to happen, to see how he thinks, to see how he's going to work this in and keep everybody happy, but also try and do the right thing for South Africa's future as well. So I think that those are things that I wanted to cover on today's show when it comes to this preview. These games are going to be very well competed. I think it's a series that is competitive because I mean the West Indies are very good, very very good in this format. They always seem to step up in this format. So it's something that we're going to have to take into consideration. It's a very good competitive series, I think. So we'll have to see what happens with regards to that. Um, what I'm not 100% certain of is how the conditions are going to play. We've heard that this obviously can be a little bit slower when it comes to it can be a little bit slow, the conditions in the West Indies. That's what we have come to that's what we've been told, and that's the information that has been fed by Rob Walter and the guys. But oops, what's happening here? But we'll have to kind of wait and see by obviously seeing what happens with regards to the fixtures, how the wickets play. We know that Rob Walter has spoken a lot about conditions, and he's spoken a lot about how he's going to select teams based on conditions. So that is also that's something that we need to take into consideration. They are playing all three games in Jamaica, and I just want to see something quickly. Give me 2 seconds. Mm, just want to see something. Um, where is this? I had this somewhere. 2 seconds, a couple of minutes, guys. Just give me a couple of minutes. I want to see if we're going to if playing in Jamaica is going to help us at all. Um, Kingston, Kingston, Kingston. So we're going to play in Kingston. Um, yeah. So the game against Nepal is in Kingston. So he's going to give us some insight into what we can expect in that final game of the World Cup against Nepal. It took me so long to bloody get there. But that's what is going to be the main idea. We kind of have gotten information that it's kind of low and slow there in Kingston. I mean, it's not necessarily going to be a fast-paced pitch per se. We are used to, in general, seeing turn over there. So maybe two spinners is probably almost a given when it comes to this particular ground. When you're talking about stats at this ground, let's bring them up quickly. Um, Totals. I mean, there's only been 12 games. Sorry, not 12 games. 12 innings played on this ground. So one game. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games played at this ground. And the latest game was in 2022, August. Highest score on the ground is 215. Um, that was the last game played at the ground. And the West Indies only managed 125 for 9 batting second. New Zealand scored 215. And then you got 194, 190, 185, 172, 150, 145. So here are the top scores on the ground. So in recent times, you can say that the ground has been pretty competitive. There's been quite high scores over here. Um, Above 150 is kind of it's kind of equal, you can say, but a lot lower scores in 2014. But in 2022, besides that game, that's the thing. Majority of the scores in 2022 have been low scoring. So 145 for 7 on the 14th of August, 150 for 2 on that same date against New Zealand. And then 172 for 7 and 185 for 5 in 2022 in that same series against New Zealand. And then also 145 for 7 and 125 and 215 for 5. So it's been quite up and down, no consistency on that wicket. Um, so kind of strange when you look at the numbers. So we'll have to wait and see how that is going to turn out from a statistical perspective, from a conditions perspective, and how South Africa is going to be able to cope with the conditions is going to be key. And it's a good test, good tryout and good test, because we're also hearing that USA is also going to be low and slow as well. So it's not necessarily like we all going to be we're not going to get anything out of this. We definitely will get some practice based on what we will get there. The top wicket taker on this ground, um, oops, did I just go to the wrong? Where is it now? No, no, no. The top wicket taker on. Let me just get to the top wicket taker on this ground, which is over here. Um, Smith is the top wicket taker on this ground. So that can give you, with 7 wickets, that will give you an understanding kind of, you know, that the slower bowlers like the Lungingiris, etc., they're the guys that are probably going to get some good purchase on this ground. Mitchell Santner also had some good. So the slower medium paces, those are the guys that are going to get good purchase. So that tells you a little bit about the wicket if you just look at those stats. Um, when it comes to that, it's the medium fast paced bowlers, the medium pace bowlers as well as spinners that are going to get you the returns on this particular ground. Um, as you can see on this list over here. Mitchell Santner as well. He got quite a few wickets in the series that he played against West Indies over there, and he's a left arm orthodox, as we know. So spinners, it seems to be the case that spinners and medium pacers are the guys that take the most amount of wickets. So how the fast bowlers are going to do, we'll have to wait and see. Possibly in that first few overs, we might get some wickets from a fast bowlers perspective, from the fast bowlers, when the pitch isn't as worn and torn, you could say. So let me get into the live chat and see what you guys have had to say. Lauren saying, I can very much see Rob try a few things with the batting lineup. I can see him play with all three of Quinton de Kock, and Ricks at some stage, with Quinny coming in at 3 like he did at SA20 and even for LSG. I mentioned that earlier on the show. I say this because we know our coaches like to give experienced players like Quinton de Kock a lot of time to get their form back before the tournament, and I see Quinton de Kock play all 3 formats, to be honest. For all 3 games, to be honest. Hence, I can see the above top 3. Riza Hendricks, Ricks, Quinton de Kock, Rassie van der Dussen, Breedsky, Mulder, Andile, Fortuin, Ngidi, Kutsia, Nokia, Shamsi, or Arshan Mati, but I don't see him batting in the top 4 this series, unfortunately. I gave me my thoughts on that as well earlier on. Mikey says, Quinton de Kock and Rickleton, 2 left-handers. Is this a good or bad combination in your opinion? What's your ideal World Cup opening batsman? My ideal World Cup opening batsman will be Quinton de Kock and Riza Hendricks. I think Quinton de Kock's experience counts for a lot. Now, if that's why I want to see Rassie, and that's why I want to see Rickleton and Quinton de Kock get a chance in this series. I think that based on who goes out first, we can either bring Rassie in to keep that left-right hand combination if you want to. I don't think it's as pertinent in T20 cricket, but it does help. So if Quinton de Kock loses his wicket early, I would send in Rassie van der Dussen. But if Riza loses his wicket in early, sorry, if Riza loses his wicket early, I'll throw Rassie van der Dussen in. If Quinton loses his wicket in, then I will throw in Ryan Rickleton, so that we can kind of keep that left hand, right hand combination. It's nice that we have right left in that top four. It gives you the option to be able to do that rotation if you need to. Chi says too many top order batters. I agree. Um, but that's the only batters we really have in the squad. Yeah, like Lawrence says over here, that's the only batters we have for the series, unfortunately. Mikey says, I would love to see Stubbs with the formies in coming in a bit earlier. Yeah, for the World Cup, yes. When we start talking about the World Cup, we can decide what we're going to say there. The World Cup guys should play the majority of the games, in my opinion, especially since we won't have any warm up games. It's like you are in my head, because that's literally what I said earlier on. Mikey, I would like to see Quinton de Kock in at 3-4 for the series. I think you would made a good point. Our mission must be on winning the World Cup, so we must make the best of the series, keeping that in mind. Yes. Chi says Rickerton, Hendricks, Quinton de Kock, Rassie van der Dussen, Vian Mulder at 5, Patrick Kruger at 6, Andile Pechelquaya at 7, Fortuin, Kutsia, Obatman, Anas, and Shamsi. Lawrence says, think for Peter to be part of the Proteas setup without playing a game would still do the world of good, so we ain't missing out in that regard. He will get a go soon anyways. 100% agree with you. Mikey says, squeeze Peter in on the third game if possible, depending on how we perform during the two. That makes sense. Sean Kingston. No, remember that number? Nostalgia. Hey, Sean, you, Mr. Kingston. Lawrence, it's quite a small ground, hence the high total. So even with the wicket being slow, you can get boundaries away because of the smaller nature of the ground. Public says, would love to see Peter play and get Bartman and Rickleton game time at international level. Off topic, Bedingham is scoring lots of runs at Durham. I saw that double 200s in one game as well. Riza has to play. Could bat Riza at 3? No, I wouldn't mess around with Riza's position. He's our opener for the World Cup, so I would want to see Riza open the batting. The other partner needs to be determined. Quinton Cock isn't in form. He hasn't performed for quite some time. So I think it's time for him to take a back seat. If he's not in form, I think by the World Cup, I would give Ryan Rickleton a go if Ryan Rickleton is in form. If they're both out of form, like for example, that's why I want to see them go head to head, because I think that spot is up for grabs. I want both of them to play in the series. And then based on their form, you select who's going to play in the first World Cup game. That's how I think things should be approached. Do I think that Rob's going to approach it that way? Highly doubt it. Based on his track record, he's always gone with a guy that's more experienced if he's in the squad. So I don't think he'll maybe go the direction that I'm hoping for. But if it was me and Ryan Rickleton performs in this T20I series based on his form in the CSA T20 Challenge as well as the SA20, I feel that he knows his game, understands his game well enough now to get given a start in the World Cup. So that would be my way of approaching it. But I want them to fit in all the World Cup players. There's no time for too much experimentation and giving too many people opportunities. I think the priority should be the World Cup players first and foremost. Select them in the squad, in the side, and then you can add in a couple of newbies in between. It's a good option for us to experiment a little bit with our all-rounders because we don't have many all-rounders in the country. So it's good to see that a guy like Patrick Kruger is here, and I would like to see him get an opportunity maybe over Andile Pechelquayo, because I feel that in that case, you give the guy that's been in form a chance. And I don't think you add an experienced player like Patrick and then don't start him. So that should be the case. I think we can rotate a little bit more between Othniel and Gerald throughout the series. Give Othniel a chance, give Gerald a chance, give them both a chance because Gerald's coming off a very taxing IPL. So I wouldn't mind even giving him a little bit more of a rest and maybe only playing him in the final game and then just give Othniel the first two games. I would like to see that maybe happen. I think that would be the logical approach to this particular situation. Both spinners have to play, I feel. Shamsi hasn't necessarily gotten um, too much game time when that I feel that he needs to be rested or whatever as an experienced player, so he can play every game. And Bjorn Fortuin, it's a good opportunity for him to show what he can do. Um, and maybe you could sneak that spot from Keshav, I mean, for the World Cup. That's a possibility. I rate Bjorn's batting more than I actually rate Keshav's batting. And that would maybe give us a little bit more of an edge when it comes to our batting a little bit deeper. But like I said, priority should be to play all the World Cup players that are in the squad first and then pick the rest around them. So that's my take, guys. That's what I think about this particular series. As you know, the game is on Thursday. It kicks off at 9 o'clock. I will be doing a review show directly after that game. So I don't know who's going to still be awake after that, but I'm going to shoot it directly after the game while all the facts are still fresh in my mind, while the game is still fresh in my mind, because it's a lot easier for me to do the review show directly after the game when I've just watched it, because my reaction is raw and my reaction is a lot more closer to what I've just witnessed, and I can give you an honest, true opinion on what I feel about the game without too much thinking behind it. So my review shows will be will be finished right after the game. If you guys are watching the games and you're still awake, please join us and keep me company so that I'm not too alone when I'm doing that review show. But anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and enjoyed this preview. Please, can you smash the like button to help us with the algorithm, but also comment in the live chat. I would like to see all of you guys put your 11s for the first game in the comment section below, and let me know who you'd want to see start in this game. Please, guys, it really helps the channel and really helps the video to spread more if you guys can do that. After this episode is finished streamed, just go to the bottom of the video and put your 11s in the comment section below, and also subscribe if you're new. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you guys after the preview, after the first game, a review show after the first game. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, everyone.